How do I have first-time sex? Hi, my name is Martha. I'm a clinical sexologist with a doctorate in human sexuality, and I'm from Eros Coaching. I just want to say that when it comes to first-time sex, I work with a lot of clients with this concern. A lot of my clients have vaginismus, which is a condition that happens when a woman's vagina shuts down, making penetration difficult or impossible. So this is when the anticipation of the penetration is causing them to tense up. They are having a lot of fear about pain as opposed to having actual pain in their vaginas. So I have a lot of clients with vaginismus. I also have a lot of clients who cannot consummate their marriage. And this is different from vaginismus. Vaginismus has to do with fear of pain, and unconsummated marriage has to do with not knowing how to have sex. Although you can also have unconsummated marriage due to vaginismus. And so I work with a lot of clients who do not know how to have sex for the first time. When you watch porn, it's pretty contrived and it's very much of a performance. And so one of the first things that happens with clients when it comes to having sex for the first time is they don't know where's the vagina. It's very important to understand our anatomy so that we know for ourselves where our private parts and where the different parts of our anatomy are. To be able to name the different parts of our anatomy is by itself one of the steps to being able to have sex. And so I teach them. Using visual aids. I encourage them to read articles, and you can certainly read articles on Scarlet Teen. So Scarlet Teen is one of my favorite websites that I recommend my clients to go to as a resource. I know there are many websites out there, and not all of them provide accurate educational information. A lot of it is just well-meaning articles, but actually don't take you anywhere. So when it comes to first-time sex, and you do a quick Google search, you'll find that there's a lot of advice about creating the right mood and having romantic dinners and all that. I haven't done an article on first-time sex before. I'm doing a video now on first-time sex, and this is what I have to say about first-time sex, is that the importance of arousal is very important. The experience with being comfortable with each other's body, make-out sessions are also very important. And you may want to do it progressively. You don't want to set yourself up for like, this is the day, and but then prior to the day, you haven't actually touched that partner, you haven't actually fingered each other, you haven't played with each other's genitals. And so what might happen is you might get very excited, and the person with the penis might ejaculate sooner than he would like, and then it's kind of like, oh, the mood is gone. So it's really important to set realistic expectations. If you're having sex for the first time, obviously you're going to be nervous. Obviously, some of the positions that you try might be awkward, uncomfortable, and it may not work. So break it down into smaller steps so that you're not scared and you're not overwhelmed, and also you're not overexcited, overstimulated, and then maybe you would have ejaculated or orgasm sooner than you would like. And this applies to both male and females. And so one of the things that I always teach is that you do progressive steps, small steps. So if you can't even kiss that person, how you think you want to have sex with that person, or if you are not even able to feel comfortable about massaging each other's bodies, much less massage their genitals. So it can feel like a bit like overwhelming. So break it down into smaller steps. So, you know, they call it like first base, second base, third base. First base is hand holding or kissing, and then second base is touching the genitals, and then third base is having penetrative sex. So back then, you know, we do that, we break it down into smaller steps. So it's the same when it comes to first time sex. So if you think about inserting the penis into the vagina, you want to be thinking that it's a big object, and big object may have big pain. So you practice with small objects first. You practice with one finger, then two fingers, then penis. Or one finger, two fingers, three fingers ideally, then penis. And we're not talking about three like this. We're talking about putting them together so that it simulates what the penis might feel like. And it's also good for people with penises who are actually having sex for the first time, because our fingers have nerve endings, and from penetrating the vagina with your fingers, you'll be able to get a sense of what it feels like to enter, and the angle in which you may want to penetrate your penis, and you get a sense of what that might feel like on your penis, what angle you should position yourself and all that. So that also gives you confidence. And I don't encourage first time sex being one in which you are trying for the very, very first time, and then you go all the way to insisting or shoving the penis in, because actually that can cause pain. And what we do not want is, we don't want to have trauma, we don't have the pain, we don't have to have numbing in the vagina that cause from the tensing of the body from the pain. And so it's important to do it progressively, slowly, with arousal, with lots of communication. And I know a lot of places say use lube, use a lot of lube. Lube cannot substitute for arousal, because our body goes through changes. Our genitals does get engorged, and our vaginal muscles for people with vaginas starts to relax more, and so you're more able to absorb the link between pain and pleasure. It can feel nice and bearable as opposed to unbearable, and you certainly don't want someone who's having sex for the first time to feel traumatized. So I hope I've given you some food for thought as to first time sex. I don't want it to be too explicit, so I'm giving very general advice. And if you have any comments, you can always post in the comment box below, and you can always drop me an email, and you can email me at ask@eroscoaching.com. I'm taking questions relating to love, sex, and life, and I'm making little videos to answer all your questions. So this is Martha of Eros Coaching.